Well, good morning, guys, and welcome to my top 5 tips for recovering from a kite surfing injury much faster. What I'm going to go through over the next 10-15 minutes is just my top 5 tips for if you are injured now, how you can get back on the water in probably half the time, but more importantly, recover much faster. When you get back on the water, be stronger, fitter, faster, whatever, than you were before you got injured. Okay, now this is my first YouTube live, so you have to excuse me a few things. And yes, I am in the back of my van because I'm on a campsite, because I'm traveling around the world at the moment trying to make myself a better kite surfer. So if there are a few noises in the background, we seem to have been invaded by the kids brigade today, so there may be a few beautiful singing voices in the background. So if there are, I apologize for that. It won't detract from the content. So let's dive straight in. First thing, if you are injured, the first thing that you've got to realize is the most important thing that you can do is give your body the right building blocks to rebuild. Now, what am I talking about here? I'm talking about diet. Now, this is where immediately, before you disappear, everyone rolls their eyes. Oh my God, he's going to talk about eating veg again. What I want to make clear to you is that, look, especially when you are injured, the materials that your body uses to rebuild that injury literally comes from what you eat. So if you're eating second-rate material, you are going to be rebuilt with second-grade repairs, i.e. second-grade new materials. And that's not what we want. What we want is that you are rebuilt with absolutely top-class material. So your diet has to be top-class so that your as the bits go about repairing themselves, it's got the best materials possible to work with. So this is a huge one. And the problem is as well, when we're injured often, we think, oh, well, I'm feeling a bit sorry for myself. I'm going to munch on ice cream and chocolate. Tons of sugary snacks, crisps, pizza while I mong out in front of Netflix. Because it doesn't matter, my body's just getting on and recovering, and there's nothing I can do about it in the meantime anyway. I don't need to be fit. Whereas actually the opposite is true. There is no time it is more important to be really conscious of your diet and what you are eating than when you are injured. Because literally, that is the time when your body is in overdrive, rebuilding, repairing. So you need to give it the correct building blocks. Now, what diet does that mean? Well, I'm not going to sit here and tell you there is one diet that works for you. Something that we've found in the NTX system, where we work with clients doing this, is that different diets work well for different people. And indeed, if you are injured and you want to go deeper in this, there is a link in the notes below above this video, wherever they appear, that will give you a link to a free 10-minute call with me where we can take this a bit further. And we can start to delve a little bit into your unique biology and what might work for you, because I don't believe that vegan is the right diet, or keto is the right diet, or paleo is the right diet. I believe everyone is genetically different, and the diet that works best for them needs tweaking, which is why one diet works really well for one person and will literally nearly kill the next. And this is why there's so much, not misinformation, but confusing information on the internet about diet, because it needs to be personalized. So diet is number one. You have to nail your diet, and just that alone will account for probably 80% of your recovery. It'll speed your recovery up, and it will rebuild you stronger than you were before you started. Let's get into a few more specifics. The major thing that you are looking for in your diet is the correct amino acids. These are the parts of the protein that will basically rebuild you. So what are we talking about here? Well, the best place to get these from is still, and there's a load of people about this on the internet, bone broth. So you best from what should be, if you can get them, like grass-fed cows, or wild raised animals raised in their natural environment, eating the foods they were designed to eat, and boil up the bones, basically, literally. And then you can start, then that on itself is a little bit hard to stomach for most people, so you can add that to other foods on a daily basis, and that just gives your body the building blocks to rebuild. If you're too lazy, if you can't be bothered, or if you're stuck in a van on a campsite and that's quite difficult to do, what I tend to use is I supplement with gelatin and collagen, because again, these provide the building blocks that your body will use to rebuild itself. Now again, important thing when you're getting these supplements, if you supplement it with gelatin or collagen, is the quality. Try and get it from a good grass-fed, pure source. It's no good eating animals that have eaten crap, because it's just that crap just gets transferred through to you. So that's very important as well. So number 2, amino acids, bone broth, gelatin or collagen. Well, gelatin and collagen if you can get them. The third one, and this is another eye roller. This is another point where you go, oh my God, what are you telling me this for? Water. You need to hydrate. Now, most of us are massively dehydrated, whether we realize it or not. Now, why is this important? Well, because what you've got, if you think of a watermelon, okay, and suck out all the juice from that watermelon, what's left, all the kind of fibrous interconnecting parts, that is what we could call the fascia. Now, the fascia is what links your entire body together. It basically runs through your muscles, through the tendons, through the ligaments. It binds everything together, and it's only been recently discovered, but it's quickly rising to prominence as possibly the most important part of your body when it comes to performance, muscle, things like that. And without, the fascia dries out, and it shrinks and it shrivels and it starts to tear. So we need to be giving it enough water so it can remain flexible, it can remain supple. Now, while this may not actually help your injury per se, what it will do is it means once you start getting to the point where you're ready for rehab, when you go and see the physio, your fascia is nice and supple. So that all that work that you're going to do with the physio pays 10 times more dividends than it would otherwise, because the physio's got something good to work with rather than try to break through fascia that's half dried out before you even start. So drink enough water. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. What is enough water? I would recommend between 2 and 3 liters a day. You know, if you're injured, you're not going to be doing that much exercise. Maybe add a pinch of Himalayan salt to it, because there is a lot of research now showing that people can over drink, and it basically strips all the electrolytes and minerals out of the body. So salt to the water should just keep your electrolytes nice and high. And drink, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. So we've got diet, number 1, bone or amino acids, number 2, hydrate, water. Oh, and the final one on water, try not to drink straight tap water. In most areas, tap water is garbage. At the minimum, buy a filter and just filter the water out as you're drinking it if you can. Top tip there. Bottled water's great, but bottled water has BPAs from the plastic in there, which aren't good for you, and it creates a huge amount of waste. If you can drink water from a supermarket, i.e. glass bottles, is much, much better, because you don't get the plastic toxins in there. And it's not plastic waste either. Glass waste is much easier dealt with than plastic waste. So top tips for water. Number 4, fish oil. Cod liver oil, krill oil. Basically a high omega. Why? Omega-3 is massively anti-inflammatory. And what we're trying to do here is reduce the general inflammation in your body, but specifically the inflammation around the area that's been injured. Why? So that then all the good stuff, all the nutrients, all the blood, all the stuff that it needs to heal can get there unimpeded. Fish oil is great at removing inflammation. Now, a couple of things on fish oil, should I say. A lot of the cheaper types of fish oil aren't so good, generally because our seas have been so badly polluted that often the fish themselves are fairly full of junk, should we say, especially if you're getting larger fish oils, fish oil from larger fish, should I say. So what is coming out on the market now, which krill oil, small, don't have enough time to build up the toxins in there, so that's a very good one. You can even now get oil from algae, which is basically pure. Now the science is still out on whether the algae stuff is as good as the fish oil, because it's obviously plant-based rather than animal-based, so it contains a slightly different balance, but it certainly does contain a lot of omega-3, so it's going to help the anti-inflammatory and for our purposes as well. So they would be my recommendations. Rather than just fish oil, go for krill oil or algae. And finally, my personal favorite, now these bad boys are awesome, something called systemic enzymes. basically what you've got in your body, you've got two types of enzymes, you've got a few types of enzymes, two we're concerned about: systemic enzymes and digestive enzymes. What they do basically is they help the body break things down. Digestive enzymes, it's easy to think about. What they do is they help the body break down food and then extract the nutrients from that food. Systemic enzymes work in a different way. Basically, the housekeeping they do is they march around, they find any kind of scar or bad tissue inside the body itself, so on the muscles and things like this, and they basically digest it. They basically digest that scar tissue. Now, why is this good? Because, say, scar tissue on the muscles, for example, what it does is it tightens the muscle up, just as it does on the skin. It has the same effect. It tightens the muscle up. It causes the fibers to go in weird directions. It's just generally not a good thing. So these systemic enzymes march around and eliminate all the scar tissue in your fascia, basically. At the same time, they are massively anti-inflammatory. Now, the problem is that as we hit the age of between about 27 and 35, our body generally slows down massively its production of enzymes. So often, from the age of 27, we just don't have enough enzymes to go round to keep that regeneration effect going. So the final one I'm going to recommend, my fifth tip, is enzymes. Say these will do you the world of good, and they can actually be anti-inflammatory, but they will also start to chew away at the bad material. Systemic, generally over your whole body, but also obviously specifically in the area where you are injured. So there's my top 5 tips, guys. And if you just did those 5 things, I guarantee you would notice massive differences very, very quickly. If you are injured, however, and you want to take this deeper, again, link in the notes above or below this video, wherever they appear. Click the link, organize a free 10-minute consultation with me. This isn't a sales call. There's no way I can charge you anything. This is just literally for us to get to know each other, have a chat, see if I can help you. Really, I'll be analyzing you to see if actually I'm in a situation where I can help you, with the aim of getting you back on the water in half the time, stronger than you were before you got injured. So I hope that really helped you guys. As always, if you did enjoy that, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next live video. Cheers, guys. Goodbye.